Welcome to the Wargaming Garage and this 500 point narrative battle between Death Guard and Sisters. Of the Finial Sector lies Temic V, an old world by Imperial standards as it is, but one that's not of great import. It lies inside the sector of St Orpheus, with the Bastion planet that has been near the Eye of Terror, but on this planet in particular, there's no major industrial stuff. It's not an agri world, anything like that. It's a relatively, call it standard Imperial world. But this combat patrol mission is only designed to sort of set up for mainly to be the catalyst for the missions 2 and 3. 3 being the main mission that will happen inside this planet. So the way this is going to work is there'll be no objectives or anything else like that. It's essentially a bit of a last stand mission. So the Sisters will be deploying around this central area of the board, and then the Death Guard will be coming around these 4 corners around the ruins. But there is something else quite particular about this mission. And that's mainly the addition to the Death Guard army of some 38 Poxwalkers. Now, they're not costed into the army, they're literally here to drive the narrative. So the way this is going to work, this is going to be like an endless horde. So I'm going to split the battle grid up into 4 sectors. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. I'll roll a d8 and halve it like I would with a d6, and that'll be the sector they get up in. And then I'll roll 2d6 to determine how many Poxwalkers spring from the ground, and that will happen on the Sisters' turn, then the Death Guard turn, Sisters' turn, Death Guard turn, and so on until there are no Sisters left. So that, we'll see how that pans out, see how long they last, and that'll be mission 1 of this narrative campaign. Okay, so here is 500 points of the Order of the Burning Shield. We're running them again as Ancient Shroud today, and they're headed up by a Palatine with a plasma pistol. She has a Warlord trait Righteous Rage, so she can re-roll the hits and the wound rolls in melee, and she's also got the relic, the Iron Surplus, which basically gives her transhuman. She's got the Blessing, the Rapturous Blows, so she can add 1 to the strength characteristics of her melee weapons, and which is just a power sword. And then the Miraculous ability, she can turn that on once per battle, and everyone within a miracle range on 6s to wound will do mortal wounds. She's joined by an imagifier who is running Tale of the Warrior, so +1 strength to units that were within her aura, and then 3 pretty standard squads of Battle Sisters, so 3 squads of 10. The simulacrums are not actually simulacrums are just they're not pointed for that, but I just thought I'd bring the full squads, and they are as you see them. So we have got the storm bolters and the flamers, storm bolters and flamers, and then melter gun and storm bolters. So that is on my wonky nose 500 points of Battle Sisters. And here is 500 points, or actually 495 points on my cheek, I think, of Death Guard. So today, new model syndrome has been headed up by Lord of Virulence, and he's got the relic Fugaris' helm, so he adds 3 inches to all of his auras, and he's also got viscous death, so he can reroll the number of hits with his double plague spewer. They're also running the fast attack, which is just a standard bloat drone with plague spewers, and then we're also just running 2 pretty bog standard squads of plague marines, power fist and plasma pistol. Everything else is just bolt guns. So there's the armies. Let's get on to deployment. So the sisters have come to investigate why the planet's gone dark. They're in one of the main cities and they can see that everything is silent, still. The land has been decimated. There is signs of rot and effluence and disease and corruption, but everything is still. The Auspex is still. There's not a sound anywhere. And then the Auspex starts to sing, starts to show targets, starts to show movement, and out of the shadows, out of the corruption, out of the mist of disease and fog, of detritus, the Death Guard start to show themselves. So to emulate the element of surprise, the Death Guard will get turn 1. So both armies are starting with 3 CP, but the Death Guard will get turn 1. So what we'll do, like I say, we're splitting this into 4 quarters. So over here we'll say it's quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. So that's a 6, so that'll be quarter 3. So that's over here. And to make life easier, I thought I'd roll a D12 instead. And so 12 poxwalkers erupt from the ground. So the former inhabitants of this planet, now under the curse of the walking pox, who erupt from the ground and start to head towards the sisters. So on to Death Guard, turn 1. So at the end of the Death Guard movement phase, we've just brought this unit out of the ruins slightly and brought the Lord of Virulence through to get a line onto this squad of sisters here. We brought the Poxwalkers slightly out of the ruins, and they're going to do nothing more than try and get a line onto this squad of sisters here, along with this squad of plague marines, and this bloat drone is probably going to target these sisters here, start taking down the numbers because there's quite a few to get through. So there's no psychic phase, so onto the Death Guard shooting phase. So right now, the Palatine is screaming urgently to get a message to the barge that's in orbit. The Death Guard are here. The Death Guard are here. Please send everything you've got. So she's frantically trying to get messages off world for any kind of reinforcements that she can get. In the meantime, this bloat drone doesn't care. It's going to hit all of those. So the number of shots is 9. Incidentally, we rolled a 3 for the first round of Miracle Dice for the Sisters. So that's 9 shots anyway into 2. So strength 6, so wounding on 2s, re-rolling 1s. And re-roll those 2 1s. Okay, so 8 go through at -1, we can minus nothing. That isn't bad at all, so we only lose 1 sister. Okay, so moving on to this squad who are going to fire into this squad in front of them. The sergeant is currently tucked away inside. He's not cowardly, he's just tucked away inside. And on this scenery there is no view out of the scenery. So that'll be 8 shots, hitting on 3s. I'll hit. That's not bad shooting at all. Wounding on 3s. That is also not bad at all. Again, 6 3-ups. And we lose 2 from that squad. And so working our way around into this squad here, I'm going to fire everything into the squad on top of the ruins in the centre. So hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s because there is a lord next to them. That's going to be handy. Okay. 3s to wound. 2 wounds. No minus. And 1 goes from that squad too. And then the sergeant with his plasma pistol, which hits, wounds, and another 1 goes. And now the Lord of Virulence. I think we'll re-roll that number of shots. That's much better. So strength 5, toughness 3, so 3s to wound, re-rolling 1s. And no 1s to re-roll, but 10 go through. So -1 back to minus nothing because of Armour of Contempt, so 3-ups. Not so great, we're losing a further 3. And so that marched into the shooting phase. We've lost pretty heavy casualties on this flank here. Not so much to talk about a couple in this one, but certainly the strongest squad is the one at the front there. So that being said, we'll move on to charges. So in this first round, I think we're only going to charge this set of Poxwalkers into this set of Sisters. The Death Guard want to inflict a little bit more. They want the Sisters to know that the once proud inhabitants of this planet of what they've become, the low denizens that they've become. So we will charge this squad into these. It's a 5-inch charge. This squad of Plague Marines, incidentally, if they wanted to do this charge, it would be here and up because they still wouldn't be within engagement range. Certainly height wise, but not base to base wise. So that makes it a 9-inch charge. These Marines would be auto in, but like I say, narratively, we're going to send in the chaff first, just to add insult to injury to these sisters. So I'll roll off for that charge. And they fail. I've only got 3 CP. I'm not going to spend. I'm just going to 4 CP because it's my turn on Death Guard. No, I'll save it. Okay, all right. On to Sisters. Turn 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is roll for a quadrant to see where it comes from, which is 8. So it comes from this sector here, sector 4. And then the number of Poxwalkers is a 2. Okay. And again, just to go back to that first round, I'm gonna, because it is a last stand, we're gonna consider morale not a thing. They're gonna all be fearless, as per some of the mission rules that you do get for Tempest or Open War or something like that. So these sisters are here to fight. They're here to make that last stand and try and get a message off world. So on to the Sisters, turn 1. So at the end of the Sisters movement phase, this squad have consolidated backwards and sort of regrouped around the Palatine and the Image of Fire. This squad have brought themselves round to either to maybe charge and engage with the Poxwalkers, whilst taking some pot shots at this squad here. And this squad have been ordered by the Palatine to start expanding expanding their area of denial, if you like. They're expanding their lines out, getting themselves into some cover, and start trying to take down the bloat drone and try and take down this squad of Marines, whilst hopefully preventing or catching any Poxwalkers that are rising from the ground early on. So that's the movement phase over. Obviously no psychic phase, so we'll go on to the shooting phase. Incidentally, I rolled a 1 for my miracle dice, but what we'll do, we will start with this squad here. So we're going to actually put the melter gun into the bloat drone, the storm bolter, and everything else will go into the Marines and try and whittle them down. So a couple aren't in bolter range, discipline range, double tap. But the rest of them are, so we'll go into that squad of Marines. And that isn't bad. But strength 4, toughness 5, so 5's to wound, is the kicker. 3 wounds. No AP. Kills 1. Okay. I'll tell you what though, at this level, I think you kind of feel every model that goes. And so melter into the bloat drone. Oh, I've got to use a CP, it must hit. Oh, okay. Okay, so coming around to this squad, I think we're going to put everything into this squad of Marines as well. Just try and, whilst we're on a roll, just try and get them. And then the flamer will go into the Poxwalkers. Okay, so again, all the bolt weaponry. Not bad. So 5s, re-rolling 1s because of Palatine. Okay. So 3 again. Must remember, Argent Shroud. No. Kills another one. Okay. And the flame of shots into the Poxwalkers. Oh my god. 4's to wound. We're going to 1 for the Palatine. Does wound. Okay, 6 up. So it kills a Poxwalker. Tremendous. So rightly or wrongly, as we've whittled 2 out of this squad of Plague Marines down here, we're going to put everything from this squad into that one again. And then the Flamer will go into the Poxwalkers again. So we'll start with the Flamer. For 5, that's better. Okay, so 5 hits. So 3's to wound, because I've just checked it against his 5s. That is not bad. That is 4. 6 up, feel no pains. And another 2 go. So bolter weaponry into the Plague Marines. Fives, rerolling 1s. Okay, 2 this time. And 1 gets tickled. So the image of fire will fire into that squad. She has 2 hits. 1 wound, which is fine. So now we'll start with the Palatine and the plasma pistol, which will go into that squad of Plague Marines as well, which hits. Definitely wounds. Definitely saves. Okay. So shooting phase is over. So we think about charges. So I think at the minute, whilst the Poxwalkers could be numerable, I think what we're going to do is we are going to charge this squad into that squad of Plague Marines in an effort either to tie them up or finish them off if we can. I mean, we've got 5 wounds to get through. It's going to be a tall ask, but volume. These sisters run the passion, so 6s explode in that first round of combat, so we may just get lucky. Yeah, so let's have a quick measure up and roll, see if we get him. So it's a 4-inch charge, so let's just hopefully not roll snake eyes. Nope, and they're in. Okay, so after the pile-in, we managed to get them all in, and there's a couple inside the building that are taking on that are getting themselves into combat with the champion. So we've got 9 attacks on the charge, looking for 3s and looking for 6s to explode. So far only 2 6s, but it does mean everything hits. So 5s to wound, 2 wounds, no minus. So they tear 1 down and put 1 wound on another. Now the Death Guard get to strike back. So hit on 3s, both hit. Wounding on, well, definitely that. -1 for the Plague Marines becomes -0, and 1 sister dies. And then for the champion, with his power fist, it's hitting on 4s because it's unwieldy. So 2 hits, 2 wounds, and -2, -3. -3, so it kills 2 more. So 3 are gone from that squad. So the end of Sisters turn 1, we've managed to expand the line somewhat by engaging with this squad of Marines and pushing out this way and just trying to put a little bit of distance between us and the Lord of Virulence, just to buy the Palatine a bit more time to get the message off world. So let's see what the Death Guard do. Turn 2. So before we start that, I've rolled a 2 for the Miracle Dice. It's looking great so far. So it's a 2. So That's this quadrant here, number 1, and the number of poxwalkers that rise. Oh, it's just the one this time. Okay, so at the end of the Death Guard movement phase, we've brought the bloat drone over here and start trying to whittle away at this squad. They know they're going to get Arm of Contempt and they know they're in cover, but we're hoping for a volley of shots here to try and get rid of or whittle down this squad. This poxwalker, the lone poxwalker that rose from the ground, has made his way forward. These Plague Marines remained in combat. These poxwalkers have moved out the ruins and starting to head towards the centre of the board, as have the Plague Marines and the Lord of Virulence. So, all that being said, again, there's no psychic phase for this battle, so we'll move on to shooting. And we'll start with the bloat drone into that squad of sisters for 8 shots. So winning on 2s, rerolling 1s. So all 8 go through. And so Arm of Contempt and being in cover, 8 2-ups. And we only lose 1. So everything from this squad is going to go into this squad of sisters here. So there's 8 bolter shots, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. And another single 1 to reroll. Wounding on 3s. Okay, 3 wounds. So 3 3-ups. And we lose 1 more. So now on to the Lord of Virulence. He's going to go into the same unit. Again, he's got that viscous death, so he can reroll. I don't think I'll bother. Okay, so winning on 2s now because contagion, and he's got that relic that extends his contagion range. So winning on 2s, rerolling 1s, and that's a good job. Okay, so 5 3-ups because of Armour of Contempt. Okay, yeah, that's not good. So we'll fire the pistols into combat with the Death Guard. Okay, maybe we won't. So that finishes the shooting phase. So we'll have a look at charges. So looking at charges, I think we are going to charge the Poxwalkers into the Palatine, see if we can do that, bring her down. And then I think we're going to charge everything from here. This is the Poxwalkers, this squad of Marines and the Lord of Virulence. I think we're going to go for it, and I think the Plague Marines are going to try and charge her, the Image of Fire, and the Lord of Virulence, being the canny guy that he is going to just try and charge this lone sister. So I'll measure up and we'll have a look. So measuring it up, I think the Poxwalkers have got a 7-inch charge into the Palatine, which they certainly make. The Plague Marines have got an 8-inch charge into the Image of Fire, which they don't make. Oh, that's going to be annoying because it means that the Lord of Virulence can't get through. We're going to have to re-roll that, which they make. And then the Lord of Virulence has got a 7-inch charge into that sister, which he makes. Okay, they're all in. Okay, so we'll start with the Poxwalkers into the Palatine, and we're going to spend a CP on Mutant Strain. So 6s inflict mortal wounds, but 1s kill me. So let's hope for lots of sixes. Okay, 1, 2, 3 are dead, but I've also done 3 mortal wounds. Okay. Strength 3, but toughness 2 because of contagion, so 3's to wound. Okay, so 3 wounds. Okay, so bearing in mind, just remembering the relic that she's got, she can't be wounded on a 1, 2 or 3. So it's only 1 wound goes through, and she has a 2-up save, which she makes, but she does then take 3 mortal wounds in addition, so she's down to 1 wound remaining. So onto the attacks by the Plague Marines into the Imager Fire. So hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. That's a good job. Okay. Really on 2s, re-rolling 1s. Okay. So 6 3-ups, and she takes 2 wounds. Then the champion weighs in with his fist, misses twice in his gusto, wounds, and that I think is her torn down. Yeah, so with 2 wounds taken and 2 more wounds from the Power Fist, that's the Imager Fire, who is gone. Miracle dice of a 6 for her going. And then lastly, beyond to the Lord of Virulence. I don't think she's long for this world, but we'll roll for it anyway. So 5 attacks, hitting on 2s. Actually hitting on, yeah, you do it. Hitting on 3s because it was being unwieldy. Okay, wounding on 2s. Excellent. So 4 5-ups. She's going to boss this. She's going to boss it. She doesn't boss it. She's well dead. So the Palatine gets 3 attacks. Hit on 2s. And 6s explode. And everything will go into those poxwalkers. Of course. So all 3 go through. So because she's got the Rapturous Blows, she becomes strength 4 with a power sword, strength 5, so wounding on 3s. I get to reroll 1 for Argent Shroud. Of course. So the first one is dead, second one is dead. So just need to do the ongoing combat, so we'll fight first with the sisters, so 5 attacks, no passion this time, so hit on 3s, nothing. Oh my god. Okay, really on 5s, okay, 1 wound, and he's fine. So just quickly do the fight back with the Plague Marine, hits twice, rerolls a 1, okay, so 2 3-ups, then both fine. Then the champion hits once, wounds, and kills another sister. So that marks the end of the Death Guard turn. The Palatine is down to 1 wound remaining, but they've cleared the Imager Fire away, and they've cleared this mid-board. So they're starting to make headway over here. Let's see how the sisters will retaliate in Sisters, turn 2. So I rolled another 6 for my miracle dice. So let's roll for the number of poxwalkers. So that is area 3 again. A total of 4. So the movement was really quick. We spent a CP allowing these sisters to fall back and shoot. And then we're going to just put everything from this. Actually, what we're going to do, we're going to put everything from this squad into these plague marines. See if we can start to whittle those down. With the melter going into the bloat drones. We'll start with the melter. So hits, wounds, 5-up demon save. Of course. So everything bolt wing wise will go into the plague marines. Ruling on 5s. Argent Shroud. Okay. So 4 go through. Tell you what, bolt weaponry. Yeah, it's done alright with these sisters so far. So it kills 1.5. Not bad. And these sisters into this Blade Marine squad here. So I can only see that one, because obviously the other one is behind cover, even though he's been fighting through and killing stuff because of walls being a thing. So bolt shots. Fives to wound. 1 Argent Shroud reroll. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Number of shots with a flamer for 2. Okay, both wound. And it kills him. Okay. So, on to combat. The Poxwalkers will fight first. Let's see if they can tear her down. Yeah, I want to ensure it. I want to ensure that happens. I'm going to spend another CP on Mutant Strain. So let's figure out how many we need to do. Okay. So there's 4 left after killing 3 with mortal wounds last time. Let's see what we can do this time. So any 6s to hit will finish her off. Oh my god. So I kill 1 and I do finish her off. Strength 3, toughness 2, so 3's to wound. Roll it anyway. She would have been fine, but she does fall because that 1 wound left. So the Palatine has gone. So that marks the end of Sisters turn 2. They've lost the Warlord. There's 1 squad here. It's a desperate battle to try and get these messages off world. Hopefully the Palatine did enough to send the message to the wider sector for help. But that'll mark the end of the turn because this squad of sisters fell back, so apart from doing that 1 strat, allowing them to shoot, there's nothing else they can do. And I don't want these sisters to get out of cover. Though I think it's going to take, it's going to need the Death Guard to remove them using melee based on everything so far. So that being the end of turn 2, on to turn 3. So I rolled another 1 for Miracle Dice, so let's roll to see where they come up. Fingers crossed they come up in this quadrant here. No, they come up in this quadrant here. How many? 8, that's better. And so here we are after the movement phase. The 8 Poxwalkers have kind of joined up with this one lonely one here. We'll consider that one squad now, one blob. The bloke drones remained stationary, where these Poxwalkers have moved down after their consolidation slightly. These Poxwalkers have moved up. And this champion's come crashing through the wall to see if he can finally bring this squad of sisters down after seeing his own squad decimated in front of him. So we'll start off with some shooting. We'll start off with this bloke drone into these sisters for 9 shots. Running on 2s, rerolling 1s. Okay. So 9 2-up saves. Oh no. Okay. We lose 3. Just an effort to make that Poxwalker charge longer. I mean, either which way, they're going to get hit by Poxwalkers, they're going to get hit by Marines. One other way, they're going to get hit. So we'll then start off with, we'll carry on with the Lord of Virulence. So the Lord of Virulence, seeing what he gets. Okay. 7, okay, alright. Okay, rerolling 1s. Okay. So 7 2-ups. Oh, they're fine. So bolters into the sisters. All hit. Running on 2s because of contagion. Okay, 3 wounds. No AP and cover, so 2-ups. Another one falls. 3 CP. Yeah, go on. Oh my god. And then the bolt gun from the champion into their squad of sisters here. Both hits. Both wound. We lose another one. So now come the charges and everything. So bloke drone, the Marines, Poxwalkers are all going to charge this squad, and the Marines, the Poxwalkers are all going to charge this squad. So I'll measure up and do some rolling. So we're going to just count this as just a normal wall. I know the base is slightly thick at the bottom, but they'll be fighting through that wall, which is a 4-inch charge, which they get in, and then the other Poxwalkers into here, that's a 4-inch charge as well, and they're in everywhere. Then this Poxwalker squad into this sisters is a 7-inch charge, and they are in. Because there's something quite satisfying about Poxwalkers tearing down Sisters of Battle in this rabid, clambering horde of suddenly goes from shambling, groaning horde into this fast-moving, charging, whirling dervish of a horde. So again, we've got a couple of CP, so we'll spend one on Mutant Strain again. Oh, we've killed one. We've also killed 3 of my own. Excellent. So strength 3, toughness 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds. No minus, but no cover because it's melee and it's not heavy or anything. That kills 2 more. So the Plague Marines pile in. and we're going to really try and finish him off and spend another CP on trench fighters. So just an extra attack with the knife. And then 2s to wound, re-rolling 1s because it's a plague weapon. Okay. Here we go. Wow. Okay. Okay, so the late drone gets 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. So 2 hits. Running on 2s, re-rolling 1s. Okay, both go through. Armour of Contempt -2, so it becomes -1. So again, 4 ups now. So those 2 that are left are still there. They're holding their own. Okay, so on to this. There's 3 left over here. We'll start with the champion. I'm hitting on 4s because of unwieldy. It's 2 hits. Running on 2s. 5 ups. Oh wow! So 8 poxwalkers are in combat with them. So hitting on 4s. Running on 3s. And they're fine. And so we start the fight back. So these squad assisters are going to go into the champion. They know the world is doomed, but they want to take as many of these Death Guard with them as they can. And they know the populace is gone, but they want to inflict damage into that warband as much as possible. So hitting on 3s and 6s explode. Excellent. Oh, there's one more for the sister, actually the superior. Okay. So all go through with the passion, running on 5s, Argent Shroud re-roll, no, so 1 goes through, 1 3 up, and he's fine. And then the same for this squad here. We'll go into the Plague Marines. Okay, so 2 go through. No wounds. And so at the end of Death Guard turn 3, there's not a lot left for the sisters to do. They're tangled up in combat. They are going to fight last on this occasion. So I think where it stands right now is, in all likelihood, they are going to get torn down. They know they've been fighting a losing battle as soon as our Auspex started to ping and go off and tell them about targets closing in on them. And so the Lord of Virulence stands in the centre of the square, knowing he's set this world to ruin, knowing he's set this world on the path that he wants it to be on. But in mission 3, you'll find out exactly what that mission is and what his aim is for this sector. So, see you soon.